What a time to be alive. Y'all just don't know. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, y'all know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, Inspired by Dreams, that's the new brand, and we're doing pretty good, pretty good. We're growing with the community, and you guys go check it out. I got a lot of hoodie drops. I got some new hats in there, and this dope new jacket drop. So you guys go check that out and support your boy. Okay, okay. So let me see. I'm feeling good this morning. I really wanted to talk to you guys. I got a lot on my mind and I have some things I've seen, some topics for you guys. I got a little bit of everything this morning, but what a time to be alive. You guys just don't know. Change is happening right in front of our eyes, and in so many ways, good change is happening as well as bad change. Sometimes you got to get the bad, you have to go through the bad to get to the good, you know? So I love you guys. Always thanking you guys for tuning in to your boy, because, you know, in these times, it's so hard trying to get a message across a whole field of negativity and things that's going on. So I just wanted to start like that. Now, another thing, I want to give healing energy to my a good friend of mine, Chuck Murdoch. He has suffered a stroke, I believe, and for those who do know him, a dope DJ, always been a great DJ, and his blend game for the DJs out there, serious. So I just want to give him some healing energy, and all my fellas out there, all the ladies out there, take care of your health, and just stay in tune with your body and how you're feeling, and your body has the most warning signs than ever. So just pay attention to the things that you're eating. And even though it might sound like it's over, and I say it over and over again, it's needed in these types of conversations, because I don't want to lose no more people I know, or just people out there. People are losing people, you know, just from food and not health issues, and then you got to deal with violence in the street. So we need all of that, and we gotta better ourselves. And today is the day I feel like I want to just talk to you guys now. The first topic let's start off with Diddy. I'm hearing a lot of Diddy, a lot of new Diddy news and things that's going on. But my whole take on this Diddy thing, I think it's the reason why it felt a little draining in conversation is because I feel like people are more concentrated on the legal side and all the legal, all the things that's going on, like on the court side between the lawyers and the courts, when really they're forgetting and pushing back the victims. Now there are still victims in this whole Diddy situation, and I know as time goes on, people tend to just go off into the legal side of this whole situation. I don't want people to forget about the victims, because remember, yes, we hear a lot of stories that sound like they're, you know, untrue, but we also remember what I told you. Those people, they are put in the way of blocking the people that situations really happen to them. So I just want to keep that in mind. I don't want to jump into the legal side until, you know, it's kind of like until the courts is set up and it's ready to go. That's when I'll more concentrate on the legal side. But for now, I'm really concentrating on pinpointing what victims, you know, are there, and it's so blurry about the people that's going to be in that court. And we don't know if it's anywhere from celebrities all the way down to local people or whoever. So I'm really more concentrated on the victims in every scenario, if you really understand what I'm saying. Good morning, good morning. You already know God is the greatest, the most high. He got us up here this morning. Yo, I'm feeling good. You know, I'm trying to keep my energy up and just you know, I got a topic that's gonna make y'all laugh. Hold on, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna show you how our energy is really putting in work in these YouTube streets as well as the world. Even though we're small content creators, watch how our messages grow. And we'll together we're gonna find change in that. Trust me, you guys. Watch this. Now I want to get straight to it. I'm jumping topics right now, so give me a second. I want you guys I want to go with this one. Now, GameStop, the CEO of GameStop, says they are losing GameStop stores and closures to wokeness. I said wokeness. What does that mean, wokeness? First of all, let me tell you why these big companies are losing out. because they're starting to realize that you guys are waking up and you guys are putting your money into things that's more value into your life. The more, look, it's nothing wrong with going out there and buying something nice for yourself or even treating yourself with things, with items. But you have to realize that everything you do has to have a return on it. And that it doesn't, you don't want to go out there living your life like the stocks, but it's kind of sort of like that. Now, if you're getting something, let's just say you want to go in Louis and buy a Louis suit, it's very expensive. Well, maybe that's the night for a celebration for you for something you won. It's not going to be like something you achieved. Don't just buy the Louis thing to jump on social media. The more you guys are paying attention, and I'm so happy I hear things like this because, yeah, they're going to throw rocks at us. They're going to say we're saying this wokeness and how this and that. But the truth is, it ain't really about no wokeness and how it's us just trying to let people know, man, if you don't care about us, what makes you think that we have to care about you? If you see our families and you walk across them and you step over the homeless people and you get on your red carpet and go off your way, and then the next day you promote something in our face and you expect us to buy it, why do you want to trick us like that? I mean, common sense will tell you. So I'm just so happy when I hear things like that. Not the fact that the businesses are closing, not that aspect of it, but the aspect of, look, if you don't do right to the people, you're going to feel some kind of hit, some kind of, hit in the company because, come on now, a lot of companies are doing this. I heard the other day, if you guys haven't seen it yet, after this is over, I have 2 videos. Now, one is already out. It's Dressing Rich While Broke. And I want you to pay attention to that video because that video it sparks a conversation of people just wanting to actually like look a certain way but not feel it. I'd rather feel a certain way and forget about looking like it. If I'm happy inside and I have a face on like this, it doesn't matter because I'm happy inside. People are in the reverse of life because they feel like a demonstration or they're putting themselves on, because it's this thing about getting popular and fame. And those are the things that, I kind of push away from. And as crazy as that sounds, a lot of people that think like me and have like anxiety and things, it's not about having the biggest of following of people just saying anything in the chat and it's going crazy. No, it's all about growing with people because the more you have to be more responsible and understand that everybody's not going to see it the way you see it. So I'd rather just grow at a slower pace because I'm learning and getting to know people that see things alike. And we're seeing things in real time, like companies, they're starting to realize, I mean, the prices are ridiculous, you guys. I know that you love some nice things and maybe you want it, like even Valentine's Day, the prices now, they're upping the prices. They're upping them because they know these are days where you have to go because you want to feel this, it's all this reality on social media. So once they figured that out, they could attach any prices. They can attach any prices. Did you guys hear about the heist that went down with the sneakers? They stole a pair of Jordans that was worth $440,000 in a recent heist. I believe it's the other day. If you guys could go check it out, $440,000. Now, who was the dumbo that thought that was worth that? Let's be honest and see what's going on here. $440,000 pair of Jordans. What does that come with a kitchen? Think about what they're doing. They fooling you guys and making you think that exclusivity and all of that stuff is a price tag on it. To be exclusive, you can be rare. You can have an only thought. You can have a rare item that was a one of one. You don't have to attach this big price on top of it to find value within it. It could be something your grandmother gave you. And you find the value in it. The rest of the world might not see that value in it, but you hold that value in it there to yourself. And companies, they lose train of thought of that. Because even think about the workers. The workers are upset at these big companies making billions of dollars and they're not even getting compensated. You think the person working in those Louis places get to grab any Louis they want and buy this No. So now that we are waking up as consumers, we are slowing down our consumption of the nonsense. Whether it's on social media, whether they're trying to sell you something, we ain't going for it. When you think like that, you're earning more and you're putting the value back and taking the value back of yourself. Understand that. Facts, facts. A lot of these places are corrupt. A lot of them. I'm telling you, these people, they're taking the money and they're running. A lot of these companies that we're seeing right now, they might not be here next year. Forget about 2, 3 years from now. They're not going to be here next year. Don't you see that they have been making billions off of broken products, billions off of broken things and things that only last on a subscription amount of time? Pay attention to what they're doing and pay attention. They can't hold up the bankruptcy, because the reason why a lot of these companies go bankrupt because they have other big guys in their pocket. They owe people money for putting up the first loans to get you on that to get you on the race. So now you ain't bringing back the same amount of money because you overspending thinking this thing was going to be forever. You in trouble. Pay attention to what's going on. They in trouble. The more we wisen up, the more we go out there and it boils all the way down to music entertainment. Some people are not entertained by like music awards and things like that anymore because they don't see the figures that they listen to on the daily up there on those stages. And the reason of that is because these big companies are pushing certain artists and they're putting certain money behind people. And now when you see that person number one, you're like, wait, hold on. No, I didn't hear that album. I didn't hear that album. Where did that come from? And that's the reason why, because they feel like because of AI telling them what you're going to think, they feel like that's a go. But AI can't tell them what you're going to think next. Don't let these people fool you. AI can only tell you what you thought before. So now they see this, it's a struggle now. I'm talking about if you thought the biggest of companies loved you or was just putting that on sale for you, why are they laying off so many people? If they have billions and trillions of dollars, why would you lay off so many people? You would have been the company to if you really loved the people or was for the people, you would want more workers come in so they can have more opportunity within your business so it can grow with a bigger brand. But you already feel like, you know what, we getting trillions this way, so let's just leave it like this. Get them out of here, trade them for technology. And now, what they didn't think about was the people that you lay off and the families they go home to with the sad faces. They no more can buy from your company. They can't support you with an empty stomach. That's how they got tricked. The greediness. You see, they thought that you would go home and say, you know what? Instead of fixing that dinner, I'm just going to save it for that Louis. But instead, people started thinking, you know what? Let me start. Eggs are going up. The prices are going up. Let me start paying attention to what's going on. And that's how we started fighting back. So welcome to the new way of living and the new way of things. That way you don't have to keep changing up all your clothes and buying these big brands to try to take one picture. And where when you buy something today, tomorrow it's still brand new. Welcome to the new way of thinking, where you don't have to have somebody trying to sell you a book telling you you're going to get rich from something. Wait, get rich from where? Get rich from where? You don't have to worry about that stuff. In time, as we go on and as we keep on the same energy, as we come together, we'll formulate change. It's going to be almost like a miracle how we push through. You don't feel the energy? You don't feel the energy? The celebrities do. Some of those celebrities are smart. They're like, listen to those people. Those are the people. Those are the people that supported us. They talking. And people are listening. People from the higher ups all the way down to the roots are listening. I'm hearing it. I hear it. I feel the energy. I feel something different going around. People are starting to pay more attention to how they feel instead of how they look. And that's the reason why I told you money isn't everything. Because no matter how far we go up, the people are always going to try to find a way to lower the value. So what you have to realize is you are the value. So when you go wherever you are, you will always be up. And that's why I came here like that. And I'm feeling good because you don't know, that's why my energy's up today. I see a lot of changes. I see a lot of foolishness and nonsense going around, but I see a lot of people taking a different route about it. They're taking a different route about it. I even seen a documentary where some of the Chicago kids, they looking at it different now. While the media is still posting up drilling, people killing, yeah, that's still happening. But on the side of the corner, right down the block, that girl in that group, they formulating something, trying to like the Panthers trying to put something together to save the community. So while they destroying the community, we still got people, even if it's a smaller bunch over here, trying to save it. God is good. See, as we fight, we're going to have to realize, I told you guys, we're going to have to fight our own as well as everybody that's against us, because it's only a war between good and bad. It's no complexion, no culture. All of that's bickering, going back and forth is not going to help us. And the more we realize that, the more we're going to see better for ourselves. There's a lot of people right now that's they got questions, man. A lot of people got questions on just the people around them. It's hard to trust people, and this is because social media brought that in. See, at first you ask the question of, why if I say something like this and I go on my Instagram or this and that, I see the commercial for it. And then, you hear lawsuits coming in that how, they were listening to things and that, and you start realizing, what's going on here? Are these people trying to direct me and tell me what I'm going to think next? There's no way you can do that. I put everything on it. So once you start realizing that the control is going to start with the social media. And then outside of that, because the social media is what's leading you to go out there and buy that stuff. You got to get your mind off of that. It doesn't. I told you guys, if you want to put value in like, let's just say, a lot of people. I have a special coming out today, you guys. And this is a very big video. It's the conversation surrounds single dads. And the reason why I put up single dads, because I already had I hate being a single mom video. You guys like that. But the single dads, I wanted to highlight just a difference in energy when it comes down to single dads in these times. It wasn't like they were all mad about it, I'm gonna let you guys take a look at it. It's dropping at 11 o'clock today. You guys take a look at it, and then we'll talk about that on the next one. But all I want to say is, you see these relationships nowadays breaking up because they don't know each other, or they have something that they can't live with together. But if you really look at all of this is because of social media. Everything. When we really think back, we're gonna sit back one day and think like, damn, it was social media. You know how many people are addicted to porn and things like that right now because of social media? That they feel like there's the option. There's always this option. The option is you're either going to see things for what it is, or you're going to see things for what people tell you it is. Okay? So that's the option. I told you guys to research. That's what a lot of people do. So I'm appreciating the energy that people are waking up, man. I'm just happy. It's not going to be everybody at one time, but eventually it's the carpet going to roll out, man. The carpet going to roll out. I'm just happy about that. Another thing that it kind of struck me, and I was a little upset behind it, you guys. They're having like this back and forth risk. This back and forth thing with Notorious, rest in peace to Miss Wallace once again, and rest in peace to Biggie Smalls. And they're having like this back and forth thing with his estate, her estate. Her estate right now is worth so much money. So it's almost like vultures coming into, oh, she's gone, let me grab this, I want to sell. It's like I didn't like that. Like, why every time, like, so what they're gonna do now? You don't feel like that should go to their family? It's like this back and forth riff, and that's what I tell you guys. When the money is the lead of the legacy will be ripped apart by people that have greed in them. All of that stuff is like, come on, like the lady lived there for so long, and I don't know, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. I was just thinking about it, like, man, I would hate that. Like, I would want to leave. You want to leave some things back for your family. Biggie has kids, and why is there a rift over? We got to do better and start treating each other better, and start realizing that life is way more than just going back and forth like that, y'all. It's way more. The thing just didn't I didn't feel good about it. You never saw a single dad? Yo, let me tell you, this video, I'll be in the chat at 11. I'll be there chopping it up with you guys. When you see this, it's going to be touching this video I got for you guys, because you'll be so surprised that how single dads are out there, and they put their dreams in their back pocket just for their kids, whatever the situation may be. They got custody of the kids, and sometimes it's not just one kid. It could be 3 kids, you know, and they change their life. You'll be so surprised. I feel like if you have daughters, raising daughters, they kind of do get a little more. It's like they have a little more masculinity when a father raises, but there's a lot of things that they are very protective of their kids. It's when I, like, for example, when I put out the video on the single moms, there's a lot of moms that did like, I can't take this, you know, it's a lot, and everything they were saying was true, but they were coming from a hurt point. With the fathers, single dads, it was not coming from the same point, and that's what made the dynamic. That's when I started questioning things. Like, wait, hold on, you know, it's. I think having kids in these times, especially with the prices going up, and if you're including that type of living standards around, I feel like it does take two. It does take two. It's not going to be easy for any side, and how you take it is how it shows what type of parent you are. But it's a different dynamic with single dads compared to single moms. And I just wanted to present that to you guys. So yeah, that video is dropping at 11. There's a lot of big ups to all the single dads too. You never know, a situation could happen, and sometimes it could be a passing, and you know, you have to do what you have to do as a father, and you get through. I feel like everybody needs a little helping hand in something in these times. And some people don't want to admit it because they have a status, or they have, you know, a certain image about themselves that they don't want to feel like they're devaluing it. But the truth is, when you just be honest and truthful about, you know, your situations, and know that, okay, you know what, I could step it up in this, and maybe my social skills can go up a little better. I have to start doing better at this, making more at this. You have to start like putting your blueprint down and start nailing the things to the wall, the ones you want to knock out. But you know, sometimes being a single parent anyways, you have to turn around your dreams and then put it into your kids. Your kids become part of the dream. It's not like throwing whatever you have away, but it's a new life entering this world. You gotta be grateful. I see that another thing I wanted to talk about was Jeezy and his just his whole financial troubles he's going through. It's kind of like you have to be a trusting person to have people you can trust around you. And I don't know him I just know, you know, him as far as just rapping, and I love his music. But behind, as far as like, you know, the people that his lawyers and things like that, that's in control of his money, I don't know, man. A lot of these people are getting robbed because, like I always tell you, you know, it's good to put your trust in somebody that's great at what they do, but you still have to understand that they're great at what they do. And if you don't have any, you know, education on financial literacy, or maybe where your money's going, or don't have anything to keep track, you can fall victim just like anybody else. I mean, greed doesn't, you know, greed fills the pockets of many people. There's no face to greed. If you're greedy, or you're doing something out of desperation, you're gonna be taking people's money, man. And it's sad. It's just like saying, you know, not everybody that goes to work could work in a bank. And there's a reason for that, because some people say, no, I don't want to work around money because I'm going to be tempted to put in their pocket. There's a lot of people like that. As long as you know, as if you're that type of person, that's not for me, then you're going to be all right. But that's what happens when it comes down to putting your trust in the people that's going to be covering your finances. And even if you're social, like let's just say you're an influencer or you're a rapper, yeah, the person that's covering your finances are watching you on social media too. And they have their opinions on you, whether they're control of your finance or whatever, you know. So it's a very tricky game. Fame really, you have to, when you become famous, it seems like you have to put like a little extra protection, an extra guard around yourself, because you're being looked at for your fame, and people are no longer searching to see who you really are, because whoever you present from that point on, they're taking it from face value. It's sad, but sometimes that's the way it goes. So him just being in that whole thing, you know, Even the other day, I heard of Meek Mill. He was complaining that he had owed like $2.8 million or something like that in taxes, and he was asking, how could you owe more than you made? But what a lot of people don't understand, I was watching a video and it went right into like the Breakfast Club video, and DJ Envy was talking about, he was speaking on the whole situation of with Meek Mill, and the reason why I felt like he had a good point was because as a DJ, when you're a DJ, you do collect money from like clubs and things like that, and that sometimes people don't realize that if they don't put that money or write that money off, or let people get so you can get taxed on it, and you just throwing that into the bank. Or let's just say Meek Mill did a show, or he did a couple shows on his own that he got hookups from his manager or whatever, and he threw that money in the bank there, and there was big money. It has to be accounted for, and that's just how America works, and even the whole bank system. And that's the reason why a lot of people, if they have money illegally, they can't put it into a bank, and they have to find other people to put their money into, because once you start putting it into a bank, and people want to know where you got the money from, it's only so much that you can say that it was gifted to you. So what I think probably the mishap in his mismanagement of money was probably him. Not that he's not making money. No, he can make money, but he was just making money and probably not, filing it, or not putting it in his taxes, or a lot. Once it's unclaimed money, right now that is not the best way to go. I see a lot of people just like taxes are really messing them up. Just owing people. That's not. I don't know. That's not the way to go. But hopefully he gets that straightened out. And I don't think that was. I don't know if that was recent, or maybe he was just telling the story of that's what probably happened to him. But being that he has the opportunity, and he still has people, the heirs of people, and he still has his fan base, work on your base, and so you can have a better stream of income, because music right now is so shaky when it comes down to streaming and things like that. But people are still trying to protect their base, meaning their fan base, and still you got to still feed your base no matter what. I always tell artists and just people that's selling to the public, or if you're exchanging with the public, feed your base. Sometimes you have to take losses and dumb down on the ticket sales. I see a lot of these artists out here trying to compete with the big names like the Beyoncés, and those tickets are very expensive. You can't, maybe if you lower your tickets, Beyonce is going to get people to come out because she has earned that in her base. She's earned that in her fan base, that if she has something out there, she knows the price that her base is willing to spend. Now, as for artists that might be just, under that, or maybe artists, I don't like to say under, but just an artist that hasn't been fully, or, hasn't reached those heights, you might have to lower the price on your tickets, and so your base could spend with you. You got to be, don't turn into what you've been treated like from these big companies. These big companies want you to spend your last, and they don't care, if you have a cup of coffee in the morning. If you can't afford that, who cares? You just bought the bag or whatever you had. Don't treat your base like that. Try to adapt the style of more like, concentrate on treat your base like a community, like how are they feeling? How are they doing? Are they dealing with these issues? Let me lower the tickets a little bit. And that's what I feel like separates the big artists from the artist that has really that true, they're in touch with their audience, like a Wiz Khalifa. He's always in touch with he knows his fan base. He's been packing stadiums for years, and he can weigh out prices that he can bring his base up or down to come see him perform. So we all need to take a little bit from that in our lives, and incorporate it. So the people that I'm here talking to, I want to make sure that you guys are at the same stage, and the same eye to eye as me when it comes down to how I'm seeing it, and how I'm thinking what we're gonna need to get forward through this stuff. Let me see what else, you guys. Oh, I was gonna put her. If you look at my thumbnail, I believe it's on the thumbnail. That beautiful chick in the middle at the bottom, I believe she's an Instagram influencer, and she had crashed with a DUI. I want to tell you guys this. I'm not telling that for the youth. I'm not telling you guys what to do or what not to do when it comes down to drinking. You're gonna have a good time. You want to have some fun. But what I've seen in this whole thing is she threw her life away because she was too deep into the bottle. Meaning she was drinking and drive. She's drinking and driving, and she ends up getting into a situation where it hurts or kills somebody else, and now she threw her life away. But for the youth listening, everybody in your crew or your go outside, the people that you go out with, everybody can't do the same thing. And this is the reason why we see a lot of people lost today. If you're gonna be drinking, have somebody that's not gonna be drinking, so they can at least drive you guys home. And if it gets that serious, in our time, we didn't even have the luxury of saying, "Oh, let me just order a Uber." So now you have things like Uber, you have things like Lyft that you can look. I'm gonna leave my whip here, and I'm just gonna hop in there, take me home or whatever, even if I sleep on the stoop drunk. But you cannot just jump behind the wheel, because we see what's happening. You see what happened with Michael Jordan's son, right? It can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter what kind of car you're driving. Look, sometimes you think, look, it's not, even if you have I wouldn't even suggest if you have a Tesla and you try to jump it in auto drive. I don't suggest that. I'm old school. I'm not with all of that. The thing is, what you should start with is having the right people around you, so that when you do get drunk, they'll say, you know what, give me the keys. If you don't have that type of person in the crew, you shouldn't be going out drinking heavy like that. I don't know, man. It's just like these are things that you have to pay attention to. It's not like in my time, I'm seeing more deaths. Well, they say alcohol is the second leadest, it's the second leading death in I believe it's in New York, I believe out here, or America, something like that. You guys could look that up, but it's the truth. And look, man, throw away your life because of drinking. Now you're gonna, and the sad thing about it is, you don't need prison and jail to sober you up. By the time you start coming to this realization, that stuff is not even worth it. That's all things to numb your head and just make you throw away. You got and when you think about it, there is a reason why alcohol goes so good with the loud music and you end it, because it's all like a numb session. The more you do all of that stuff, you numb yourself out of life. Don't do that stuff. Trust me, this is not the time for that. There's a time and place for everything. Having too much fun for anybody at any age right now, it's not good. Having too much fun says you're not paying attention to what's going on, and you're missing. When you do that, you're missing things that can possibly hurt you. Like the guy down the block that's robbing the guy, yeah, he's about to pull out a gun and start shooting. Oh, you didn't realize? Oh, you're not watching the news. You're not realizing that the guns, it seems like they're in everybody's pocket and people are doing what they want. They're not shooting and hitting their targets. It'd have been different. That's the reason why organized crime for mafia and things like that, it's a little bit different. At least when they was going through what they had to go through, a lot of innocent people, even though I'm not too sure, but not as many innocent people were getting hurt. They're more fighting against the people that they're in the mob with, or other mobs. The only time the mafia got messed up was, with it's like extortion and things like that. Those are people that's not in the mob that they're extorting for the money. So that's when organized crime is, at its best. But that's the reason why it's not like, a local gang is just shooting and it ends up hitting, the 14-year-old girl walking down the street coming home from school. That's the reason why there's a difference in that. The more organized you are, you're gonna get more time. But at the same point, the more crazy you are, it's kind of like they're weighing it out now. Everybody's getting a lot of this RICO time, man. Everybody's getting this. Let me see. Another thing I wanted to bring to you guys. Oh yeah, what's going on with this is crazy, because maybe I didn't stay on this case as much, or I didn't speak on this case as much. I don't know what it was. For some reason, this whole Tory Lanez thing. So he's in prison, and it seems like they want to put him in another prison of a prison. I mean, he's going through it, y'all. Once you're in prison, that alone is enough. And I'm hearing like a whole bunch of him going back and forth with Megan. I'm like, it feels like he's doing more in prison than he was doing out here with this beefing. I'm hearing he got caught up in a prison riot and they sprayed a whole bunch of. That's the type of things that comes with these situations. It's no good. And I can't believe up to this day, people don't realize that man had a promising career, hell of an artist, and threw it all away because of what? It's all in the line of the thing. You know, it's like almost like a list that never guns, drugs, overpowering people, sexual abuse, all of this stuff is like, it kind of like you start to see and realize like, okay, I can see why this went that way. Come on, you guys. When are we going to wake up and realize that the lifestyle that has been presented on social media is the same lifestyle that's going to be detrimental to you and your family? They got you thinking a whole bunch of nonsense. The one thing that I could say that's still present as our communication would tell it is relationships. Relationships, you have another opinion, somebody that's your better half. A lot of that stuff is being wiped away because social media feels like it wants to throw everybody options. No, you don't really have that many options like you think. I mean, the time is ticking, and all of this big booty, this and all of this and that. I've seen some crazy stuff on X. When I said, man, this is. I didn't put this here. This is an ad, so it's gonna be here. Oh, okay. You promote. Okay, you promoting it. It's like, come on, y'all. We can do better than that. Of course, the OnlyFans and those things that's gonna blow up and go to the roof because it's sexual and it has like sex induced. Of course, you don't. Those are. It's just like saying you're the best hustler, but you had the product. The product makes people an addict. So how could you say you could be the best at something? You mean the drug was the best, or you was the best at standing out there the longest? Look, man, we got to do better for ourselves, and cut the nonsense out. People out here trying to get it the legal way and trying to do it right. Don't trust in these people that's out here just trying to take your last just to add something on top of their mountain of money. Come on now. That's why I'm happy when I see these companies. Some of these companies were no good anyway. They didn't care about you or me. Now, remember I told you guys that I was hoping that it was true. I don't know. I'm not hearing that there's going to be another Wu-Tang album. I'm hearing there's going to be a Wu-Tang concert though. And I don't know. That's really dope. That's really dope. Something that I've seen RZA, he was in a recent interview and he sparked a conversation. He said that he claims the records Hot 97, the station, when they had damaged. They said he felt like they damaged the culture when they banned Wu-Tang from the radio, and I thought about that, and I'm like, man, I mean, there's some truth to that because radio took a turn for, I guess, the sound of radio. Wu-Tang already had found their way in it, and that sound hasn't been the most, I guess the hip hop hasn't been the forefront of the radio as much as the hot single. In other words, if you guys can understand what I'm saying. And if what he's probably trying to say is if Wu-Tang was on there, it would have made it more accustomed and changed the sound of radio, bringing more hip-hop-ish, stylish songs to the forefront. You got a point on that. But I mean, can't cry over spilled milk. It's just the way things were, the way times went. Different artists came out with certain songs that fit the radio's liking way better than, it wasn't like online people were more flocking towards online for the music like it is now. So I don't know. And that's real. I feel like, when it comes to the radio, there is a part of the radio where the labels pay for the music to, be presented. And there's another part where the DJs really have their own time to put in their locals and I don't know if they still do that, but the radio still feel like they still have slots open to display hip hop in a different type of in a more cultural way. And K Slay's show had that, and I don't know, man. We need more of that so that people can find a balance within there. Because for me, I look up all my music. I don't really It's not about what's dropping new for me anymore. It's not really about that anymore. I kind of like keep it up to like to what the latest? I added some new stuff in there. Oh, another thing. Look at this in Tokyo, right? They're adding a 4-day work schedule for everybody, and it's to help with the population. And I thought about it because I'm always hearing that I always heard overpopulation when it came down to Tokyo. But at the same point, I said to myself, they're concentrating on the people too. When you really look at it. And this is something out here I've been hearing these talks ever since, from years and years back, about the 4-day work schedule, and so people could have a little more time for their families and things like that. I don't know, man. A lot of people are greedy, and they want you to die with their company, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'll tell you like this. A good company will always give you a chance to get some shares in the company and things like that. If your company does that, and that's just like the balance of us breaking into this new generation of how the new Gen Z thinks. But if your company is one of the companies that that's the type of that's the type of company that they're willing to, you have some kind of wiggle room, some growth within that company. It's not like every company is just not treating people, but it's kind of like the overseers are not, they're looking at more at the money than the people, the workers, and that gets scary. But the big companies that you could get a little share, you get some shares in the company, you get something, a savings getting going with the company. That's not a bad company to work for, but it's just the time that you put into the company. Are you splitting that time with your family? Are your family losing the bulk of the time? These are things that people are weighing out in these times, because life is not promised, man. Life is not promised. So many things are happening. Life is not promised. Even I seen Birdman, like he's nodding off at concerts. People are getting older, and I don't know if it's drugs, or I don't know what it is with some of these people. But I mean, I guess if you're into like the pills and all of this stuff, if it's that type of stuff, I guess you don't see the people that's against that stuff. You only see the people that's with it, and you put yourself in that place where it's comfortable for you. But that's the pills and all that type of things. It's snuffing people's life away. I wouldn't suggest it. And to the rappers out there, you don't have to be all doped up or anything like that just to get the dopest of music. It don't have to be that way. It don't have to be that way. We seen where that's led. Um, Oh, I seen, congratulations to Drake. Dope album, dope album. I see he hit #1 on the billboards again. I guess I'm not good with I never bring any billboards or things like that. I don't really, with the numbers of the billboard and things like that, I don't really pay attention to that. I don't even know where you go to check that out unless it becomes, part of the news or something. But congratulations. I felt like it was a dope album. Some really good cuts on there, and just getting back to, what you love doing instead of rap is always going to come with it's going to come with its friction here and there, but man, the way I look at it, good music is always going to find its way to the top. And even if it doesn't, it's always, everybody that comes in contact with it is always going to stay with them. So I'm glad it was a great sounding album, man. And I don't like to compare the two, like go, oh, Kendrick, this and that. People have this attachment that they can't let go. It's always like, if it's an A, it's a B. No, I'm not even with it. I'm not even with it. A lot of people that I've seen in the past, a lot of artists, I don't even see them right now. Not even dropping any music right now. Maybe because the money ain't the same, but you have to work with your base. Don't just leave your fan base out there to be lost with your music. Keep them updated with what you got going on and things like that. I feel a lot of people are losing that. And losing it to social media. Losing it, man. We're losing our connections and our ways of communicating because of these tools that we have put in front of us. But I still feel good that there's a lot of people waking up, man. That put a smile on my face this morning. I was so happy, man. Y'all don't even know. Talking about some wokeness closing their place. What do you mean wokeness? You saying wokeness like it's something that stink or something? Like, you crazy? Wokeness is when you open your mind and start realizing, you start seeing the value in yourself. Don't be mad because people see the value in it. They don't want all that nonsense. Look, let me tell you, that most of the people in the world are not rich. So if you wanna categorize yourself in a place where you're not even rich, then you're not even gonna find yourself. It ain't just about the money, man. It's about your person, your character, who you are, how you treat people. When people start looking down, and that's why they end up in these positions with their nose all up in the air, can't even see that their shoes untied. For real, don't love? That's how it go. You see how people, they push away from people that got love? Yeah, because they got hate in their heart. They still wanna move off of that. You can't move off that energy and win. Wars don't get win like that. Because even when the soldiers come home, they still hold the pain inside. So don't let nobody fool you and think that the war don't just end after the bullets stop flying. No, man. The war after the bullets stop flying and the bodies are down and the blood spilled. The war starts in here now. And that's the biggest war people have to go through. So on their way back and they coming back to meet their family and the family realizing that they're not the same. It's because the war up here is still going on. And these people make up this type of war in their head and they don't understand it. Forget about fighting other people and saying who's better than this. They can't even understand why they're having this war within themselves. It's because the greed, what got you there, the blood spill behind you that made you get to that point. What you chose the route you chose, man. It is what it is at that point. You can't turn that around. You know, you are who you are out here in this world. And I always tell people that, because no matter who you are, if you know 100 people or 10 people, be good to those people. And then whatever you have going for yourself, for the things that you believed in, if they're good friends, it'll carry on through stories and different things like pictures and things like that. There'll be stories told behind you. You don't have to be the most famous person to touch people. You don't. You really don't. Once you figure that part about life, then you start realizing everything else, oh, this is cakewalk. I just have to you have to work it out and figure it out, you know, how does it fit in my schedule, in my life. That's what it's really about. See, people don't understand how greediness works. Greediness comes in a lot of forms. It's not just always greedy for money. It could be greedy for food. You could just be greedy. Once you have a greedy spirit, anything you can do to get what you have to get, you will do. And being accepting of that is what leaves the door crack for the devil to sneak in and put his play in. And that's what it's all about. Once you figure that out, you learn how to block things out, you'll have limits to what you eat. You'll have limits to what you'll do for money. That's all it's about. It's restrictions from all of the things that's going to harm you in the future that you can't see in front of you. Because let me tell you something. There's something like, for example, there's a reason why if you win the lotto for billions of dollars, you have to show who you are. Why you can't just go off into the wind? Oh, they say no, because they want to show that the lotto. No, we know the lotto. Yeah, it's real money, right? Why you can't blur out my face and hold the money and just disappear? It's because what you earned kind of has like a tracking system on it. In other words, it might not, you could spend it on anything you want, but how you spend it is going to be detrimental on the next set of winnings. You ever hear somebody win the lotto and just put it into things and it just made into more money? No. You hear, oh, they had this and they had that, they had this. That's all past tense. It's because the person that doesn't have, okay, just because you made money doesn't mean that you're a money maker. So in other words, just you could have made money from, let's say you had like something went viral, you made a whole bunch of money, or you sold it and it sold out. It doesn't mean that after that is over, you turn into a money maker and you know how to make money from different sources. No, you had something that worked and it got you to that point. It's just because you made money doesn't mean that you're a money maker. Learning how to make money, learning how to double things and make more out of things, that's a job within itself. A lot of people don't have the education enough when they get the big money, whether how they got it is how they'll lose it. If you don't have education with it, I seen another video the other day. Jim Jones the rapper Jim Jones said that he had like $20 million. They had blew like $20 million. And I wasn't too hard on it, even though that's a lot of money to blow, but it's the lack of education on where to put the money. So, because you have to really think about it like this. Sometimes he might have said that and he probably didn't get that 20 million or blow that. It's just budgeted money, other people's loan money, or because blowing through 20 million like within a year, it's not only is that dangerous, but it shows that there's a lack of, of financial literacy. But at this point, you learn as you go. You make your mistakes buying things, certain things like cars and things like that. You're buying a whole bunch of cars in 1 year. Meanwhile, the next year, all those cars lose value just like that. So that's a bad investment. You know, you start learning as you go. You're like, wait, I don't need all of this stuff. And then when you get to that point, that's when the money will lure, because now you have a smart sense of thinking, and you're not going to be that easy to get the money. When they think that you're just going to blow it and throw it, give it back to them, of course you're going to get that. They give it to you to get it back. You just don't realize how they got it back. But this almost like saying, you know, instead of putting, I could put like it's almost like a donation, and I know that this is going to go into all of this around this community because this person's going to spend it like this. But if that person puts it into investing and building things, and then that will triple it up. You'll never have to worry about going back. But we all make mistakes, though. We all make mistakes. But I heard that, and I was like, man, you know, we got to be more careful with the money and more careful about the things that we are buying, you know. You got a diamond chain. You got to go, why you went and bought 10 more? Why did you think that was the thing to do? Because you're looking for the same validation that you got when you first got the first chain. You had that glow on, so the first time people are encountering you, you're seeing this. But now you feel like you no longer feel, because you're used to that chain, and you want to get that same validation. So you gonna keep buying these material things to try to fulfill this, and then you start realizing like, man, I don't want none of this stuff. Where is the money? Where is the youth center I built? Or is none of that's there, because it's the validation point that you're paying into. A lot of people go broke at that point trying to pay into that validation, trying to keep up with the perception of what you presented and what people think you are. But if you step back and step away from that, you start to realize, man, I put $1 million in that brand's pocket. And by me wearing that, they made $1 billion from people believing that that was the thing to wear. You start weighing out like, wait, I got robbed. 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 Just because you don't know the value in yourself don't mean that somebody else can't weigh it out and start putting in whatever value they're on you, and they think, oh, this is what I can make off of them. And they could probably make that. Just because you made money don't mean that you're a money maker. So you have to sit by and understand and realize that, you know, sometimes people, they know what you're going to do with what you got. And it only takes a certain amount of moves to put you in that position. Be careful. Be very careful out there. A lot of people are losing what they have to try to keep up. It's not even worth it. It's like almost an illusion of, you know. Some people only realize that when we see it, that we can't even remember what they was wearing. Let that sit in. I'm hearing Young Thug, he's back in court, but he's in court for the right reason. I believe he's trying to claim his property, his jewelry or whatever he had going on that they took. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. And you have to have some kind of understanding too. That's like, you don't want to be back in them courtrooms. It's the worst place. It's not the place to be. You might be fighting for your money, but look, you fighting with time, you fighting with stress. There's a lot of things that goes into court that it takes a little something from you. It's kind of like when you go into a funeral. Trust me, the energy is never good, whether the outcome is good or not. It's never a good energy. It's kind of like you build me up just to steam me up and let me get out of it. It's just not a good feeling. It's just not a good feeling. You know? So yeah, today I really want you guys to please. I know you guys are gonna check out the video I have with dressing rich and being broke, but I want you guys to really like and share the single dads. We gotta start balancing things out. We gotta see both sides of this. We have to see both sides of the coin. Okay, it's gonna be dropping at 11 o'clock today, and I want you guys to really tune in and get some understanding of it. Get some understanding of it. And I have some more videos coming for you guys. But yeah, that's where I'm at this morning. I feel good. I feel good that it always feels good when I show up and you guys show up for me. And I appreciate all of you guys. So anybody out there, if you missed this live and you're checking back, I see you guys go tune back in when you get a chance. Lunchtime, you go get yourself something nice to eat. and you tune in. Love you guys, and if you made it up to this point, I want you to maybe leave something in the comment section. Say give me like give me some the emojis with the glasses, you know, the smile with the glasses. And I know you guys are holding me down. Love you guys, and yeah, stay tuned. I got a lot coming, man. So wait for 11 o'clock. Single dads, I got you. Everybody else, man, enjoy your day. You know, start a new conversation and try to do something original, and be good to people. All right, love y'all, and I appreciate y'all for showing up, and I'm always show up for y'all. Love.